What's up? AJ Gergich here from Gergich and Company, and today I have a ton of data to share with you. We just got done doing our latest study with Semrush, and we analyzed 10 million keywords on mobile, and we found 1.3 million featured snippets on mobile, all with Google. And today I'm going to share with you all the findings from that. Here's what you're going to get in the video. So we're going to link to an article, the full findings from the study. Inside of that article, we have cheat sheets that you can hand off to content practitioners. We have takeaways. We have Google Sheets filled with tabs of raw data. Pretty much everything you want to know about featured snippets and how to earn them and what the data says you need to do to optimize your site for featured snippets, we're going to cover really quickly in this video and then link to the larger write-up on the study. I'm excited. Let's dig in. All right, let's look at some of the key findings from our mobile featured snippet study with Semrush. The first thing is to forget about ranking in the top 10. Yes, you heard that right. I've been telling people for years you have to rank in the top 10 to get a featured snippet, and so have every other SEO. In this study, I wanted to do a breakdown and see like where that allocation lies. Yes, you have to be in the top 10, but where at in the top 10? And here's what we found, and it's very interesting. 94% of featured snippet URLs rank in the top 5. So you can go ahead and just pretty much forget about ranking in the top 10 and rank in the top 5. How does that, how do we make that actionable for you? So use your tools like Semrush and find keywords that you rank in the top 5 for that have a featured snippet that you do not own. Optimize it, use the findings from the study to re-optimize that page, submit it to Google through Search Console, rinse, repeat, and steal a bunch of featured snippets. Number 2, featured snippets generally appear around questions, prepositions, and comparison keywords. How do we know that? We found from our data set that 52% of questions, so just any keyword with a question, who, what, when, where, how, have featured snippets. Now to contrast that, if you remove questions, prepositions, and comparisons from our data set, it was 10 million keywords. 82% of the remaining keywords, so about 8 million keywords, we only found that 5.9% of them had featured snippets. So that's how concentrated featured snippets are when you're talking about questions, prepositions, and comparisons. The next thing is in the study, we break down. So, okay, if you have a question, keyword or a preposition or a comparison keyword, how do you actually optimize for that? And we have those cheat sheets that I mentioned. You can download them for free and it tells you exactly what to do for each step. But just real quick, if you're, just looking for a quick and dirty rule, if it is a question, 89% of those need to be optimized for paragraph featured snippet. So if it's question keyword, you can't go too wrong optimizing it for a paragraph snippet. If it is a preposition, you can't go too wrong making it a ordered or unordered list. And if it is a price or pricing keyword, you want to put that in a table to go for a table featured snippet. And those are great end of buying cycle comparison type keywords that, can literally lead to money in your pocket. So definitely get those in tables. Now, again, we have all of this broken down for you inside the study. So go snag that. But those are some of the key findings from the study with Semrush. The next thing I want to show you really quickly is the anatomy of a featured snippet. Now, in the study, there's a link to a Google Sheet. In that sheet, we have like the 3,000 URLs that are the top performing URLs, the ones that are, some of them earning 3,000, 4,000 featured snippets to a single URL. And so we analyzed all of them to see why are they performing better than everybody else. And here are some of the common things that we saw. Don't make walls of text. Contrary to popular belief, even though this is on mobile, this is long form content for the most part. You're talking 2,000 words on average, in that range. But they're using a lot of headers and subheaders, 22 headers and subheaders on average, and 12 images with alt text on average. So they're breaking that content up and making it very scannable so that if you're on a mobile device, you can just scan to where you need to. So it's still user-friendly and a good user experience, even though it's long-form content. Next thing is that 83% of these URLs were HTTPS. So you got to go secure. If you haven't, do it. Make sure you do it properly so you don't lose rankings, but do it. The top performing sites are, all HTTPS. Next thing was to write kind of at a 7th grade level. And what does that mean? So Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, book number 7 for your children, not for yourself, of course, has a 7th grade reading level. Okay. The Affordable Care Act has a 13th grade reading level. So essentially, be J.K. Rowling's. Next thing, cite your evidence. We live in the, fake news world right now, right? So it's not enough for you to say, hey, these healthy tips are going to help you lose weight. You need to cite where those facts are coming from. It should come from, New England Journal of Medicine or a .gov study that you can literally cite and link to. How do I know that? On average, these top performers were linking out to 33 external sources. Stop hoarding links and start citing your sources. It's okay. The top performing sites are doing that. Next thing, mobile experience is important. Shocker. It's a mobile study, but it's not optional. You can't just say we have a mobile site or we're responsive. The average mobile friendly score of these sites was 95 out of 100, and the average mobile usability score is 95 out of 100. In the study, we linked to some tools like Lighthouse that you need to be running on your site and see how it performs on a mobile network, especially on a 3G or 4G connection when everything's not perfect. You'll be shocked how awful some of those can look, and it will give you a roadmap for what to clean up to get that user experience higher. Lastly, there's too much to cover in just a quick video, but we do get into hub architecture. And essentially what we're seeing is the top performing sites, it's not just that they optimize their content for a featured snippet. They set up the architecture for success, how they interconnect those. And we show some brief examples on that. And I think that you'll be able to put that into practice once you see it in the actual study. We talk about voice search, getting ready for voice search. And the good news is that if you optimize for featured snippets, you're pretty much optimizing for voice search at this point. So you can, 2 birds, 1 stone. We have Google Sheets. All of this data is in there. We have cheat sheets for you. You don't need to put in your email. You just grab them, give them to your content practitioners,